about this Dell Boomi and what is Dell Boomi and where it fit in the IT industries and how we are providing the hands-on training to the participants on this Dell Boomi. Okay, so we basically at MindMajix, basically we are a online training service provider, right? Where we used to train the people on the various technologies. Apart from that, one of the technology which we are expertise in, that is the Dell Boomi. So any idea about the Dell Boomi? What is Dell Boomi, and have you heard anything about the Dell Boomi earlier? We provide the platform for the candidate or the participants uh, to have an online training on the various technologies. And apart from that, we provide for the assistant as well, the job assistants. And we provide the if you have some query, some doubt, that also we are helping on that part. And if there is a specific query with respect to career options on the Dell Boomi, that also we are helping to resolve on that part for the candidate. Okay, and we are leading in the online platform training, and we do various kind of online trainings on different technologies, and and we also offer the corporate training as well. Okay. So this is what we are doing at the MindMajix. Okay, and about the Dell Boomi, right? So what are the things we used to covered in the Dell Boomi? Okay, so where you people are going to find it out what are the course content, and and how we are what are the batch currently running on for the Dell Boomi. Okay. So the course content, there is a website, right? You can see the website as well, where you are going to if you click on that link, you will get the course content. What are the content we are dealing with respect to an Dell Boomi. Okay. We used to here about this Dell Boomi. I'd like to add one point. No, we used to do the training. We used to help on the development perspectives, and whatever we need from the support and admin perspective to do our development work, that we are dealing with up. So the course content is fully based on the development. Okay? It's like almost I can say it's 99% is the developments. So once, okay, when I say development, means it's a development, complete development. Okay, from start to advanced level. Okay, it's not like that the course has been categorized as a basic and then advanced and then more advanced on that one at higher level. No, it's like from basic to the advanced. So that's what I understand the development means, and that's what we used to provide on this training. Yeah. So this is about the, and if you click on that one, the link, you can able to get, you can able to uh, go through the course content. Okay. In this webinar, what are the things we are going to discuss it about? So basically, this webinar is basically for this Dell Boomi product, right? And what are the features, where it's fit in the in the IT industries, right? And what are the, in which ecosystem it's come, what is the advantage of this product, right? And what are the terms we used to use in that, and what is the advantage, disadvantage, how does it work, and how if someone, somebody is very new, how it can be how he or she can be start directly how or he can be start from the scratch. So that things we are going to look into it up. Okay, so first is the introductions, right? So introductory part, right? So basically about the Dell Boomi, right? You might have heard about that this Dell Boomi is a cloud integrations tool, right? So what does it mean, the cloud integrations tool, right? Sai, any idea what means the cloud integration tool? So basically, cloud integrations tool, first of all, we need to understand what is integrations, right? So basically, the integrations means what? Let's say if you have two systems, right? And you want to integrate both of the system. Integrate means what? Like from from system 1 to system 2, you want to send some messages, right? How you are going to send the messages or the data, right? Because both system is incompatible, right? If you send also, let's say if you send the data from system 1 to system 2, and their architecture is like, no, it's incompatible with each other, so they don't understand the messages, right? So what you have to do is you have to, you need to have a some what you call some sort of place where you can integrate both, right? So initially it's come into the ESB, right? Enterprise Service Bus, where you are going to uh, we are going to like, no, neutralize both the system profiles, and you are going to communicate, you are going to establish the communications between both the systems. So that was the initial days, but later, as the time moves ahead, right now the technology advances, and then integrations also advances in that way, right? So now we are dealing with the Dell Boomi, which is on the cloud. So cloud means what? Cloud means what? Cloud technology means what? So cloud means like somebody is hosting the services for your use. Okay. So that's what the cloud means. Like earlier in initial time, what happens? You need to purchase the whole product, and then you need to purchase the whole product, and then you have to uh, maintain that one, do the maintenance, do the patch updates, and you have and even though if that whole product you are not using, you have to pay full amount, right? But on the cloud technology, what happened? Based on your need, right? For that you are going to pay it. Let's say you don't require, if let's say for example you have a requirement of 10 10 licenses, right? Or 10 connections, so you are going to pay, or you are going to buy for 10 licenses only. You are not going to buy the whole product and then do the maintenance activity, right? So and keep the maintenance team to do this patch update, right? So everything is done by the vendor, those who are hosting the services. So that's what the cloud means, right? So in that we have a middleware technology that is called Dell Boomi. So Dell Boomi basically it's a middleware technologies which we used to say is a IPS. So there are different terminologies in the cloud the people are using nowadays. So there is something called in the next slide I'll show you. There is something called SaaS, software as a services, PaaS, platform as a services, or IPS, integration as a platform, integration platform as a services, or IaaS, infrastructures as a services. So we fall under the Dell Boomi fall under the IPaaS, which means integration platform as a services. So it means somebody is hosting the services and you are consuming that services for your need or for your uses, right? And you are not going to buy whole product, just you are going to buy whatever you need it. Okay. Now, so what is Dell Boomi actually? So Boomi Atmosphere allow you to connect any combinations of cloud, SaaS, or on-premises applications with no appliances, no software, or no coding. So this is the advantage of the Dell Boomi, right? What is the advantage of the Dell Boomi? The first advantage of the Dell Boomi is the tool itself is on the cloud, which means you don't require any maintenance, just you have to pay what you need it, right? No need to worry about the patch update. Automatically it will, depending upon your subscriptions, the patch will be applied to your, and it's a cost effective, right? You should not have to have pay for everything and then have a team to maintain that one. And and another thing is that this is like no plug and play. You no need to write the code, a lengthy code to connect to the end system. Just this is a plug and play. Okay. You have to, yeah, the Boomi used to give the component or the shapes that you have to plug to the Boomi canvas, and then just you have to configure. No need to write up the code, and then you can connect it. And any applications you can connect it. Some of the standard applications are there, like FTP, SFTP, right? And some of the applications, technologies that also you can connect it. Let's say for example Salesforce, NetSuite, right? Or SuccessFactors. These are the applications. product also leverages the support to the legacy systems. If you have some legacy system, that also you can connect it through the HTTP client connector or the web service server. You can listen, or you can configure the web service soap client to communicate with the legacy systems. Okay, so these are the features Boomi used to have, right? And there are few core processes that include the Boomi, which is called the build, deploy, and manage. So what build means, and what deploy and what manage means. So boom and build means you are going to create your processes, right? Create integrations using a simple drag and drop interfaces, right? So once you log into the Boomi, you will see various components are there in the Boomi. So that component, just you have to drag to the Boomi canvas, configure it, and then you have to play it. That's all. So that parts comes under the build. Deploy, run integration in any environment, right? Cloud or on premises. So various in terms of other application called the sandbox, right? In terms of the Boomi, it's called the environment. So the Boomi has given the options to create the various environment, and that environment you can configure. It's just an easy one, like dev, QA, and the productions environment. Okay, and you have to create the atom as well inside that one to run your processes. So that is a simple task that we have to perform inside the Boomi. Once your code is ready, you're going to deploy to a particular environment. Let's say if you want to deploy to the dev environment, yeah, so you have to attach to the dev atom. Okay, and the same way you can move your code from dev to the production environment. Okay, so that is called the deployment. Manage, so what manage means, once your code is deployed, right, then the code should be up and running every time, right? Or on demand basis it should be run. So in manage, there is something, if you log into the Boomi platform, you can able to see, right, there is a process reporting. And yeah, in the process reporting you can see every process is like depending upon its scheduler time, the process would be running up and running. And if there is some error, right, that you can also see it's over here, what is the time it's taking, that also you can see it to the manage page. Okay, now as I said, uh, then what is Boomi integrations, right? So Dell Boomi, like a brief idea we have, right? So what is Boomi integration and how it works, right? So what is the Dell Boomi integrations? So a simple process has been shown over here, right? Basically, it's a flow has been made. So that's what each like you can see the graphical flow, right? So that shapes that in Boomi used to call the shapes, and that you have to configure it. And it's a simple. So that's what I have said earlier, right? It's a plug and play only. So Dell Boomi make it possible for company to integrate applications, data, trading partner directly from web. Directly from web means that you don't require anything to install on your local systems, right? That I have told, as I have told earlier. Just you have to type the URL over the browser, and just you can pass it your username and the password, and then you can log into the platform. And once you log into the platform, you can see various shapes and the component, right? That you can see various shapes and the component that you can use it to make the flow a similar kind of flow which you are able to see it, right? So basically it's taking the uh, data from the FTP and then transforming into a CSV, and then doing data process, and then it's sending to a shared folder. So this is just a simple process. Okay, now what is Dell Boomi integration? So Dell Boomi make it possible for the companies to integrate applications, data, trading partner directly from web by using a visual designer with access to libraries of integrations component. Okay, so integrations means nothing, just you have to use the Boomi shapes or the features to connect with the source, and whatever data you want to pull, you have to pull and you have to send it to the target. So whole this process is called the integrations. So various different tools are there in the market, on cloud as well as like on premises, right? Tools are there. Out of this, Dell Boomi is leading in the market, and it comes under the uh, cloud platform tools. So that's what the integrations means is. Now, how it works, how integrations work inside that one, right? What are the mechanism behind it? Let's say if you have built a flow, what is the mechanism behind it to work on that one, right? So as I said on the previous slide, right, build, deploy, manage. So more explanatory would be there in the coming slides. Yeah, Atomsphere, how it works. So build, deploy, and manage. These three are the recipes of the Dell Boomi. Build, use the Atomsphere library of the component to visually design your integrations. First, you have to build it. Whatever your requirement is there, that you have to build it, okay? And then once the build is done, right, then you have to deploy it. Deploy your integrations process to Dell. Deploy your integration process to Boomi Atom to integrate between SaaS, PaaS, and other cloud applications or safely behind your firewall for on-premises applications. So I have explained over here, right, what is SaaS, what is PaaS, right? And what is on-premises applications. Or on-premises applications means the system which are inside the firewall, right? So that comes under the on-premises. So once you build, then you are going to deploy it, okay? So that's it, saying how you're going to deploy. You can connect to any of the applications. SaaS applications means software as a services, right? Like some of the applications which are on cloud. Let's say, for example, SuccessFactors, Salesforce, recently the NetSuite come up, right? So these are called the SaaS applications. PaaS means platform as a services. The way we have the Dell Boomi comes under the PaaS, platform as a services. It give you the platform to integrate your services. Okay, so that platform is like based on the your need basis, you can get it, okay? Then manage, monitor status of all deployed Atom integration process trading partner regardless of locations using a web service dashboard, okay? So basically, it's a comes under the monitoring. Monitoring means once you deployed your processes, right? You have to monitor it, which process is running, what is the time for the running, what is the log, and how you are going to see the document, right? What is the status, whether it's executed successfully or not. All these things, like no, you can able to see on the manage processes. Okay. So that's how like Boomi works. And the life cycle, there are different life cycles of once you go inside the Boomi and once you go for the code development, there are different life cycles, okay? So the life cycle is like again, how it works. In that, you have to introduce one more thing, that is called build, test, deploy, and manage. So build is basically, yeah, you are going to build it. Test once you built it, and before deployment, right, before it go to the dev deployment or the productions, you have to test is whatever you built, it's working fine or not, right? So that you have to test, then deploy, and then manage. So these are the four life cycles in the Boomi that we need to remember, okay? uh, so anyone like having some queries, something to ask before going ahead? Okay, no query, nothing. Okay. So these are the life cycles of the Boomi, and for the Boomi, like build, test, deploy, right? Now, talk about the various options. What are these are the brief introductions of the Dell Boomi. And before that, I want to show something about the cloud services ecosystem. What are the cloud services ecosystems, right? So I have told basically cloud services are categorized into three things. One is SaaS, software as a services, PaaS, platform as a services, IaaS, infrastructure as a services. So these are the three things which which are categorized the cloud services ecosystems. So what is SaaS? Software as a services like Salesforce, NetSuite, Workday, Oracle. So these are the software or the applications. You don't need to buy all the applications or all the software. Just depending upon your need, you are going to buy it. Okay. So organizations want to subscribe to an applications on the cloud with some customizations for itself. So that comes under the SaaS. All three are like hosted on the cloud, and I have explained about the cloud, what cloud means, right? So SaaS means software as a services. Under this, whatever the things comes, it's Salesforce, NetSuite, Workday, Oracle, right? These are the few example of SaaS. Platform as a services, second one is the PaaS, PS. Organizations want to leverage a cloud application platform for building applications. So that's where the Boomi falls. So we comes under the PaaS, PS, platform as a services. Okay. So Boomi basically it's a platform. Dell has given the platform where you are going to build your interfaces to do the data transfer or to communicate between the two or more systems. So that system can be anything, whether it's a database, whether it's a Oracle database, AS400, IBM series database, right? Anything, or it's a NetSuite, or it's a SuccessFactor, or it's a legacy systems, right? So anything you can communicate. So that comes under the PaaS, platform as a services. So Boomi is a like no PaaS, platform as a services, right? Then organizations want to rent infrastructures on the subscriber to build and run the applications. It's like Amazon Web Services, right? So these are the infrastructures. Just you have to buy the infrastructure and you start running your applications, right? You should not have to have your own infrastructure. So that comes under the IaaS, infrastructures as a services. Okay. So these are the three uh, cloud services ecosystems. Okay. SaaS, PaaS, and IaaS. That is software as a services, platform as a services, and infrastructure as a services. We comes under the or the Dell Boomi comes under the PS, platform as a services.
Is Boomi is iPaaS service, right?
One and the same thing. iPaaS just added as a prefix for integrations. Okay.
Okay.
They have added just for the integrations. That's all. Nothing different.
Integration.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay.
So PaaS
Integration
means
means to add one or more technologies, right?
yeah. So you can see over here. I have explained the integrations means. Okay. So basically, what integrations means, you you can visualize it similar to a bridge. Okay.
Okay.
Right? A bridge connecting two roads, right? In IT
Oh,
industries, it's the integration for the middleware, right? The broader concept is the middleware, right? Under middleware comes under the integration, like more than two systems can coexist, right?
okay.
So these are the simple graphical view showing over here how you are going to build the integrations, okay, in the Boomi.
Okay. Okay.
So
Okay.
yeah, any query, any doubt?
No, no, nothing.
Okay. So it's clear, right? SaaS, PaaS. So there is no difference in iPaaS, just as a prefix, integrations as a platform. A common term people used to say PaaS, PS, platform as a services. Okay. So we come under the second. That's clear, right? Okay, then there are few terminologies used in the Boomi, right? That we need to be aware of that one. We should know there are some terms or core terms we should be aware of in the Boomi. Few of them I have quoted over here, but as we go inside and explore, you can able to get to know more on that one. Okay, like component in Boomi, in terms of Boomi, we used to say it's as a component. Okay, and that component is a reusable. You can use it in one of the another processes. So few of them are atom, certificate, connector operations, cross reference, document cache. Okay. So what atom means is, so in Boomi, see, once you log into the Boomi, right? Once you, as I said, this is a pass, right? So pass means you are going to use type your URL on the browser. So for Boomi, it's a platform.boomi.com. As soon as you type it, it will ask you for username and the password. So as soon as you do the username and password, right, it will take you to a Boomi platform. So inside that, few component you need to know, that basic idea you need to have, right? So few component like Atom. What is Atom? So in Boomi there are two parts is there. One is environment and another is the Atom. One is the platform and another is the Atom. Okay, so two parts are there in the Boomi. Environment or the platform where you are going to build your processes. Atom where you are going to execute your processes. So the two part you need to remember. Atom is not a part of like no Boomi account. You need to install it, okay, separately. Okay, so that's what is Atom. So what Atom means, it's so the Dell Boomi Atom is a lightweight dynamic runtime engine. Basically, it's a runtime engine. Okay. Once the integration process has been deployed to an Atom, the Atom will contain all the components required to execute the processes from end to end, including connector, transformations, rules, decision handling, and process logic. Okay. It will have everything to execute the process. It will execute the processes. Okay. So, but what processes means is, right? So as I have told over here, right? So let's assume this is the simple processes, okay? So let's say if this process you have built it, right, in the Boomi platform, then this process has to up and running, right? So where you are going to deploy it? You are going to deploy it to some engine, right? So in terms of the Boomi, it's called the Atom, okay? So that's what it's saying, right? The Dell Boomi Atom is a lightweight dynamic runtime engine, okay? Once the integration process has been deployed to an Atom, the Atom will contain all the components required to execute the processes from end to end, including connector, transformations, rules, decision handling, and process logic. Okay, uh, it will have everything. Now, again, Atom can be of different categories, right? It's the cloud Atom or the local Atom. So what is the difference between cloud and the local Atom? So cloud Atom means, again, like no, it's cloud terms means it's hosted somewhere, right? Local Atom means in your premises you have hosted. So that's the difference between. Okay. Now, if let's say for example, when you are going to use the cloud Atom and when you are going to use the local Atom, right? So first thing, the cloud Atom, if your both the applications, right, is on cloud, you are going to use, if anything is on cloud, right, that time you can use cloud Atom. If anything, out of anything, one thing is on premises, so you cannot use the cloud Atom. Okay, you have to use the local Atom. So that's what the difference means. Anything is inside the firewall, you have to use the local Atom, not the cloud Atom, because that cloud Atom will not have the access to local resource, right? So in that case, but the local Atom has the access to cloud resource, so you have to use the cloud local Atom. Okay. Now what is certificate, right? So basically certificate, why we are using the certificate? For encrypting the data, since this is a middleware, right? So middleware, what it's taking is taking the data from one of the application, it's sending to the another applications, right? So that time there might be some what you call some data which is sensitive, which should not be exposed to anyone, right? So in that case we have to encrypt that one, right? So for that purpose, Boomi used to give the options for the certificate. So there is two type of certifications Boomi used to give. One is 509x 509 certificate and PGP certificate. Okay, that certificate you can use it. So the certificate component may be used as an existing key obtained from a certificate authority, or it may use to generate it may use a key generated by the Boomi. So both the options are there. Either you can import the certificate if somebody has given to you, and you can use it. Let's say public private key, right? If somebody has given you the public key, right, you can encrypt it. You can encrypt the data for that one. Okay. If you want to generate the certificate and if you want to share the public key, that is also possible. The Boomi. Now next thing is the connector. So connectors means what? So in some of the technologies used to say as adapter. So connectors, like a connector steps are used to get data into and send data out of the processes. Okay. Basically connector is used to get the data or send the data. So as I said, in some of the technologies used to say as a adapter as well, right? In terms of Boomi, it's a connector. So various standard connectors Boomi has provided. You no need to write a code. If you remember in the coding language, we have to write a lot of code to establish the connectivity, right? And the pass the parameter. Boomi, since this is a tool, right? So it has been given, and then just you have to configure it. Okay, you have to give the very basic minimum informations while configuration, like username, password, or the token, and you can establish the connectivity with the other systems. Okay. If required, you need to whitelist the IP address as well. So a lot of standard connectors Boomi has given that you have to use it. If the standard connections, you don't see the standard connections, if there is some legacy systems, right, then what will happen? You have to either use the HTTP client connector, or you can create the web services to expose or to consume the services. Associated with the connectors, you can, yeah, one more thing, the connectors basically in terms of Boomi, it's a licenses, it will count as a licenses. So let's say if two applications you want to connect, you need to have a two licenses, one for each one. Okay, so that's all. Now connector operations. So basically the operations after connecting, what you want to do it, right, inside that one. Let's say if you're connected to a database, what you want to do after connecting? You want to retrieve the data from the database, you want to delete the data from the database, you want to update the data from database. That comes under the connector operations. The cross reference table, right? So the cross reference table is the data structures used to replace a runtime lookup computations with much simpler lookup operations. Okay, so Boomi also provide the ability to maintain a table inside the Boomi. What will happen? Let's say there are some static value which you want to query to some third party applications, and you don't want to query every time, because every time you will query, what will happen? You have to open the connections, you have to close the connections, right? Which will slow down your processes. And integrations, what happened? Data flow from source to target, right? So it's just a bridge, right? So data flow. In that case, if 10 lakhs record are there and you need to query every time to some third party system, which will slow down your process. Rather than, what we'll do is we'll maintain that data in the cross reference table in the Boomi, and that you can extend it. So later point of time, let's say if data has been changed, you can go ahead and update the table. So what will happen, rather than it querying to a applications, it will query from a Boomi database table, which is much faster, that one. Okay. Document cache is also like the same kind of cross reference. Instead of in cross reference, what will happen? uh, Data would be like, when you run the process, data would be stored every time. When you run the process, it will look for the cross reference, take the value, and it will complete its job. But the document cache is little bit different, right? It's used for caching as well, but at runtime only. When your process will go to edit mode, it will release the memory. Okay. When your process is run, it will add all the data to your memory. So that's what the cache means. Document cache temporarily holds and index frequently used document in the atom that it catch them while performing multiple integrations between document within an integrations processes. Basically what it does is, when you run the process, it will hold the data in the memory. When the process is over, it will release the data. That's all that document cache. You have to utilize it on fly. Okay, so these are the document cache. Now few more are there, like processes, map functions, molecule profiles. Okay, what is the processes, right? So processes are the central component of the Dell Boomi atom spheres. They contain the series of steps that determine how data will be executed within the system. A process typically represents a discrete workflow that move a given type of record from one applications to another application. So a process means what? The systematic combinations of the movement of the data. So that's what the process means. In previous slide, I have shown you, right? The data is taken from the FTP and it's going to the share. So that complete flow is called the processes. In that processes, you will have a uh, uh, different mechanisms, like a connector. You have to establish the connector, you have to get the operations, you have to filter it out the data, right? You have to combine it using the data process, and finally you have to send it to the share. So that complete thing is called the processes. Another thing is the map, right? So map are used for the data transformations from one format to another format, or more specifically from one profile to another profile. Basically map is very important in any of the integrations. there is the place where you are going to neutralize both the systems, right? Let's say if it's a Salesforce and it's a database. So Salesforce used to give this XML structures, database used to give the database structures. So what will happen? Both are incompatible, right? Each one will not understand each one will not understand each other profiles. So in the map, both get neutralized, right? And we used to map it and pass the data from one format to another format. In the map, there are functions the place has been also given to write the functions on that one. Okay. You have to write the functions like string functions, then numeric functions, then that whatever we have discussed earlier, cross reference, that will also come under the map functions. So these are called the map functions which you are going to use inside the map. Now molecule. Uh, what is molecule and atom and what is profiles, right? Profile, I think I have explained when you are going to integrate it, right? So each application has its own kind of structures to expose the data. Okay, database is having the database, some SCM tool, right, that have the JSON structures, but most of the applications use the cloud structures, sorry, XML structures. So all this in Boomi terms is used to say as a profile. Okay. Now come back to a molecule. What is a molecule? See, the Dell Boomi molecule is a single tenant cluster of atom. So atom, we have seen what atom means. That it is a on-fly runtime engine on which you are going to deploy the processes which will do the task, right? Which will execute the processes to take the which will execute the processes and other component to like to integrate two applications, right? It's kind of engine only. If you make more than one atom, that combination is called the molecule. Okay, so the Dell Boomi molecule is a single tenant cluster atom that allow a multiple atom process to run concurrently. It is the enterprise grade version of Atom that can be deployed across multiple servers to enhance load balancing and ensure high availability for mission critical integrations process. If you have a huge number of processes and your atom is not sufficient to handle that one, in that case you have to create a molecule. And molecule there is a one very good features. What it will do is if you have a two atoms and one atom somehow is exhausted with its capacity, then inside molecule there is a way that it can automatically route it to the another processes. So another atom, so your process will not be stopped. It will utilize the features of another atom and it will do its job. So these are the few terms associated with the Boomi. Okay. Now the second thing is how you are going to create your account in the Boomi, right? How you're getting started with the Dell Boomi, right? How you're going to create it. So basically you have to type platform.boomi.com. Once you type the platform.boomi.com, it will ask you for your email address and the password. So you have to type your email address and the password and then log in. Once you do this, it will take you to a platform. So since this is on cloud, just you have to type platform.https:///platform.boomi.com. Only you need to give your username and password. That's all, and you have to log in. Once you log in, it will take you to a platform where you can see the first visual pictures configurations of the Boomi platform. Okay. So as I have told you on the previous slide, the Dell Boomi life cycle or how it's work, build, deploy, and manage, that you can see it's on the Boomi login. On the left hand side, you can see all the folder structures where your all the processes component, map functions, everything would be laying over here once you create it. Okay, and below you can see the process library as well, right? So if you need something, some guidance, you can go to process library and you can download the processes as well. And you can see on the canvas, right, open a recent item. If somebody has, if something you have opened recently, let's say I have opened account XML to CSV process, right? Rather than you going to this folder structures, you can directly click over here, so it will open that processes. Some other components is also there that you can open it directly from this open a recent item rather than opening it up from a folder. Then you can create as well. See, create options is there, shortcut way is there. You can create whatever you need, you can create it. Let's say if you want to create the processes, atom, molecules, certificate, connections, right, cross reference, custom library, you can create it from here. If you want to do some kind of learning, learn options is there, right? If you want to see how to build a processes, it's given, right? Building a processes, how you're going to create a connections, you can establish the connections, right? So these are the few things are given. But Boomi also used to give the library at last. It's a browse the user guide. If you click on that one, you can, it will take you to a Boomi user guide where you can type whatever you want, right? Whatever you want to search it in the Boomi, you can type it. So basically these are the first thing which after logging you would be able to see that one. Okay. And as I have told the previous slide, like the processes, so these are the simple processes, right? And you can customize sub process, some complex process as well inside the Boomi. So this is one of the example, right, where you have a start, then branch, and then we have a 3 sub process. And in this sub process you can see, right, uh, so some other operations are using some other like in this sub process, it's getting data from some of the applications. Another sub process is taking the data from 2 applications, transforming and sending it to the one of the system, and if there is some exceptions, it's throwing it up. The similar kind of, there is the other processes, right? So these are the these are the, like, no, loosely coupled mechanism is also possible in the Boomi. So basically these are the loosely coupled interface in the Boomi. So this is called the master process, and this is called the sub processes. So these are the simple, like, visual representation I have given over here, how you're going to create your, how the processes look like, how you're going to create it. So these are the some technical stuffs of the Boomi, right? How you are going to build an interfaces, what are the things you will get inside the Boomi, right? So any query, any doubt on this? And then we'll move to some of the, like, career opportunity, like current trend in the market and all. So basically these are technical stuffs with the Boomi, whatever we have discussed till now. Uh, any query, any doubt, anyone want to discuss something on this part? Amar? Anything you want to discuss, Amar Vagesri? Anything, any query you want to discuss on this part? Okay, I'm expecting everything is okay. Now then we'll move to a some non-technical concept of Dell Boomi, like what are the career options we have, right? And where, and what is the current trend is going in the market, right? What positions you will have. So let me open the slides. Okay. So career trends, right? Some career opportunities, salary trend, career growth, right? So since I'm associated with this product since long back, so I know initially we don't have too much of career options on this one, but recently, right, people used to know, very limited number of people are there on these technologies, but recently, like a year or 6 months back, it's like, no, graph, there is a very the graph has gone to spike, right, exponentially. So there is a very good opportunity as of now in the Dell Boomi. A few of them, like, no, non-technical post. If you're going for a non-technical post, I have given few of the career options, like marketing campaign managers, right? About the product, you have to market it, right? You have to manage the client, customer, pre-sales architectures, right? So that options is also available. You have to like, no, before sell it the product, right? Somebody will ask you to do the POC on those some features. They will ask you that all categorized under the pre-sales architecture. So these are about the some product in technical terms, right? So we have a architect level, developer level, right? And then a system engineer, and then a consultant. So system integration consultant, where you will have an in-depth knowledge of feature functionality of the Dell Boomi. You have the options for the account manager as well. You can be the account manager. So these are like, account manager is a non-technical post for the Dell Boomi, right? So under you, like you are going to maintain the customers who is buying this product. Okay, you are going to communicate with the customers. Uh, basically you are in the sales activity, maintaining the account for the customer after the sales. That account manager, the system engineer basically for the Dell Boomi product. Right? Testing, like test engineers is also there with respect to an integration Dell Boomi product, where you are going to do the testing for the interfaces, right? Support activity is also involved. Once the process is developed, somebody has to maintain that processes, right? So support activity is also, support and admin is clubbed together, because since this tool is on the cloud, right? So very less admin activity is there. It's not like that the way we have in the database, right, earlier. So here the support activity is very less. So support and maintenance, they have clubbed to, generally people used to club together to have this inside the Dell Boomi. So those who are doing the support, basically they are looking care of the admin activity. So in Boomi, admin activity is very less. Like you have to assign the username, folder, permissions, roles. That's it. There is not too much, because this tool is not on the premises, right? Somebody is maintaining that. Support activity, yeah, there is a lot of scope. Like you would be able to install your atom, right? You would be able to create the molecules. Like you would be able to start the services for the atoms, right? And another activity like process monitoring, right? So that will come under the uh, support activity. So these are the few career options which we have apart from a regular one, like developer, architect, right? So these are the few uh, non-technical posts which is very good for them. And recently the trend has gone like anything for the Boomi. A lot of customer, a lot of client is moving. I can say, like earlier, from legacy systems like TIPCO and all, right, all client, all customer moving to a Dell Boomi. And there is a, like, no, there is a very vast uh, scope in the Dell Boomi in India as well as in US, because every client is moving to a Dell Boomi product because of its easy to handle, easy to maintain, and not too much of installations is required, right? And this product is user friendly, on fly. Like, no, it will not take much time to integrate the systems. Okay, and there is less number of coding is required. Coding, there is no coding, or very minimal coding is required. So all clients are moving to a uh, Dell Boomi in terms of integrations from all the legacy systems. Okay. So that's what with respect to an career growth, salary trends, right? And salary trends nowadays, like in India, if you look into India, you can expect a, for like, no, uh, 60, in between 60 to 60 to 90%, like you can expect a salary growth. Let's, for example, if you're 4 lakhs of salary, right, then you can expect a, like, no, 60 to 90%. It means if you're 90%, it means 7 lakhs you can expect a salary. That much hike is there as of now. And it's for not for the lower post. It same is applicable for the higher post in the Dell Boomi as well. Those who want to be an architect, salary growth is very good in this. So this is what about the career opportunity trends and the career growth. And we have discussed about the advantage of the Boomi. We have discussed about the technical aspects of the Boomi, right? And then we have discussed the salary career opportunities, right? And we have discussed about the processes, how, and the Dell Boomi, how it works, what are the life cycles, right? We have discussed about this iPass. So I believe we have discussed most of the common things which are associated with the Dell Boomi. If you have any doubt, any query, right, you can go to mindmajix.com, or you can write to us info@mindmajix.com, or you can call as well to the below numbers we have given for India and US. So you can call at any time. We are here to help you out for your query. Thank you.